I will say the Subway's gross, but like physically
Not
it's
an
gross,
MTA endorsement.
but it gets you places. It works most of the time. It gets the job done.
If we could use that audio clip as their slogan, MTA, it gets you places most of the time.
I don't know. It's just.
Ruby.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for joining me here today. Super excited that you're with me. I caught the vest.
Yes,
because
New York.
New York. And you are born and raised New Yorker, which is very exciting to me because I think a lot of conversations that I have with people, they may live here now, but they're from somewhere else.
Right.
But you...
I am actually from here.
Yeah.
No, at my comedy shows, I'll ask the crowd, I'll be like, so is anyone in here like from New York? And it's always like dead silent. And
really?
I'm like, awesome. I'm always like, welcome.
Welcome
so
to
my
city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love being from New York. I think it's the best.
I think it breeds, you know, in the best way possible, a whole different kind of person.
I agree. And I also think it's like, for me, the first time I really felt like the world existed outside of New York was like college. Like I think when you grow up here, you're very like, this is the world. Whereas it is not actually.
Right. It's a very different experience when you go into somewhere else that's maybe more suburban or just anywhere else that isn't New York.
Well, it's like I found out, like, I don't know, I think I used to take the food in New York for granted, for sure. And then like I went to school in Boston, which no shade to Boston.
No shade to Boston, where I was actually born.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But I was like, oh wow, it's like the lack of like 24-hour accessibility in terms of food was like a total shift for me because there was like one diner in all of Boston that was open past like 11. And for me, a like very like canon event in high school was like going to the diner at midnight and like going to the deli when you like wanted a snack at like 1 a.m. and just like all of these kind of like late night weird hours of the day experiences. I was like, oh, that is like a weird thing we do here that everyone else is like, no, we actually respect letting people go to bed and end their work day.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to eat after 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Which we are like, that's
actually
disrespectful.
But it's also technically like every doctor I've ever spoken to is like, do not eat past like or like a few hours before your bedtime. Like that is not what you're supposed to do.
Right, but how many times do we listen to that?
Right, it's like, do you really listen to your doctors? Like, so I don't know, it was definitely like being from New York is amazing, but it's also like when you leave New York, especially when you're born and raised here, it is definitely like a culture shock of sorts.
So you said that you took it a little bit for granted, but did you have any places growing up that, you know, maybe some of them stood the test of time and are still here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a secret pizza place. Nobody thinks of it as... Like, I feel like when you ask people, like New Yorkers, like their favorite pizza in New York, they're like Lombardi's or like Joe's Pizza or like one of those like institution type places. And that's definitely like true. Like I used to have like a birthday dinner every year at Lombardi's because like I love the pizza so much. But I grew up right near this pizza shop. It's like a random hole in the wall. It's called Pizza Pete's.
Pizza Pete's.
I swear to God, this pizza, it's like very classic New York pizza. It's just like a slice. But it's the best pizza in New York, in my personal opinion. Maybe it is because, this is another crazy New York fact, I was allowed to go out to lunch in middle school. So
middle school?
In middle school.
Wow.
So I would like leave my middle school at like noon and like walk to Pizza Pete's, get pizza, and like walk back to the recess yard.
How sophisticated.
Which is like, in retrospect, that's kind of an insane amount of trust to put in like an 11-year-old. But literally I would have that pizza every day because it was just like, I was like, this is incredible. And then as I got older, I was like, I wonder if I loved it or I love it because of like nostalgia. And like, it's like, for me, like when you think of like your mom's pasta or whatever, like that's my mom's pasta.
You're like Pizza Pete's.
Pizza Pete's is my home cooked meal.
Wow.
So I like went back there when I finished college and stuff, and I was like, wait, this pizza is still insane. Because it's not like brick oven pizza. It's like classic New York pizza.
And what is that?
Just like a slice.
Yeah.
Like a true like
take on the go
slice. Like it's just a classic slice, and the way they make their dough and their cheese, it's just like everything about it. You look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's a slice of pizza. But then you taste it and you're like, this is really good. So I don't know. Let me know what you think of Pizza Pete's. I think it's incredible.
That's a huge endorsement.
Everyone I've shown it to is like, this is insane. What the heck? Like, you wouldn't know. But
it's like a sleeper place.
It's a sleeper, but they're always popping. Being from New York is definitely so I just went to Italy. I don't internationally travel regularly, so this was like a big deal for me to like go to Europe, go abroad. I just went for 2 weeks. I'm like, I went abroad. I went on a 1 week vacation, but I had kind of like a bit of like a culture shock when I got there, not only because of like the whole 24-hour thing, but which happens to me wherever I go. Every time I go anywhere, even in like America, I'm like, why is nothing open past whatever time? And at a certain point, I'm like, Ruby, this is a you problem. This is like
no, it's not a you problem. It's a New York problem.
Yeah,
because this resonates with me so hard because I went. Oh, our lovely food is here.
Yeah,
amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
my feast for a king. Thank you so much,
Ruby. Please. Enjoy.
I am so excited. This looks so good.
Yeah, we both kind of decided to do like a breakfast for lunch type of situation.
A brunch, if you will.
Yeah, and I think that since, it kind of fits with our conversation about diners and whatnot, so it's very on brand.
So I like to do this thing.
Oh, yes, please.
So I like to get breakfast plates, and then I like to make a makeshift bacon, egg, and cheese. So they gave us this gorgeous toast.
Yes.
So I put bacon on it, and then I put a little bit of egg.
Oh, wow.
And that's why I get it sunny side up, but over easy, so that I can cut it all up.
And it doesn't run.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a method.
I have a method to my, and have you noticed I have taken no bites, actually. I'm talking through the whole meal. This is what happens to me. This is why I can't go out to dinner with friends, because like I'm just going to talk the whole time. Thank you so much.
We
got fries.
We have our fry party. Incredible. I like this method. And as you were just mentioning toast, I am curious, what is Ruby Toast? Do you have a toaster that toasts?
Who told you about Ruby Toast?
Your face on it?
I have Ruby Toast.
Okay.
So when I was like 17 or like about to leave for college, getting all my stuff for like my dorm and stuff, my mom surprised me one day. So I was like at school, it was like my second month of college, and I got a package, and I was like, awesome, I love getting gifts.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? And my mom, by the way, never a gift giver unless it's like an occasion. So when my mom sends me like a package that's like not something like toothpaste or something that I like requested her to send me, it's like, okay, this is a big deal. So I saw that I had a package from my mom, and I was like, okay, like what's this? And I open it up, and it's this toaster, and on the front of the toaster, it's all white, and it just has like a photo of me. And I was like, thank you for the toaster, that's awesome. And then one of my roommates at the time like used it. She was like, oh, I want to like make toast. They come back in the room, and they're like, Ruby, like, why is your face on my toast? They look at the toast. The toaster has like built-in Ruby in it, so that when you toast the bread, it like burns it with my face on it. It's like the Glee episode Cheesus, but Ruby is this. So
I've never seen the show.
Oh, you've never seen Glee?
But most people will know exactly what this is. Yeah,
it's my brand. So
no, as it should be.
So Ruby Toast, and then I started going pretty crazy with it. I took Ruby Toast outside. I gave it to a squirrel who then took it up to a tree and was holding it up. And then I got some great photos. I can send you all these photos. I got some great photos of the squirrel and the tree holding up the ruby toast. It's a movement.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you still have this toaster with you?
I do.
Okay.
Not here with me right now, but
oh no,
it is in
well,
my room.
yes, not physically. Should have brought it.
I know. I would have made. I'll give you guys all ruby toast as like a offering.
Oh my gosh! Now, would you think about incorporating that into one of your shows as a draw? Everybody gets.
Everybody
ruby
who comes to this show gets a piece of ruby toast.
It's better than a swag bag because like it's
more meaningful.
It's more meaningful.
Who
has
feeds
that?
You. It has a lot to offer.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just
food for thought.
Yeah.
Food for thought, if you will.
Well, Ruby, your career started quite young, as a child, and when you were the ripe age of 7 3/4 to be exact, you were on Amy Poehler's Smart Girls. And speaking about feminism, which is a very adult, seemingly adult topic, but what I love is that you made it accessible for all ages.
Right.
One of the things that you said was your number one thing that you wanted to be was a pop star. Is that still something that you would like to do? You
guys, this is a big topic in my life because, like, in my mind, I am a famous pop star.
Okay, so then mission accomplished.
Was my life goal. It's actually what my one woman show's about. For me, like, pop is my life. Like, I'm a pop stan through and through, but not in like I do have certain girlies who I am like more kept up with than others. But like if you were a pop girl, like I am streaming your music and I am like checking in on you, making sure you're doing okay. Like these women are my children. Like it's not, I don't even look at pop stars as like they are mother, because that's how like people refer to them.
Yes.
But they are also like, I feel very protective over them. I just feel like pop stars, I'm so fascinated by pop stars. I also just like feel for them because like, I feel like few people get as much flack for just existing than pop stars. I feel like they're just like constantly under scrutiny. I love their music. I love that like kind of the allure of a pop star is like, they kind of take like whatever the public is saying about them or what they know about them and they kind of like turn it on its head and kind of say their own piece through their music. I just think like the whole thing is very like poetic and beautiful. I love pop stars.
Well, speaking of pop stars that you love, also when you were younger, you did get to interview Ariana Grande.
Oh my God, stop. How do you know about this?
But this is footage that we won't be able to find anywhere, and how
I have this footage.
You have this footage. Do you think the world will ever be able to experience it? Because as you said it wasn't the best interview, and most of it revolved around One Direction.
Yes, guys. If I could go back in one day in my life, it would probably be this day. I met Ariana Grande when she was about to start promoting her first album, Yours Truly, which is also like one of the most iconic like debuts in pop of all time. It was like such a good debut album. I was like 12 at the time, and I was a child journalist, which is like, I've lived many lives, if you couldn't tell. So we're not even going to discuss why I was there. But I was there because I was supposed to be like interviewing everyone doing this event, which was for Sharpie. Crazy that Sharpie could get Ariana Grande to just like show up to this like little event in New York. But my job was to go there and interview her, but the event was for One Direction. So, and I at the time, like I ran a One Direction fan page, like I was a One Direction girl. This was before I was like on the pop girlies like the way I am now.
Right. You had to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So I like get in the room with Ariana. All I know her from at this time is like Victorious on Nickelodeon, which I was a huge fan of.
Sure.
So all my questions for her, I swear to God, I'm like, so like, who's your favorite member of One Direction? And I'm like, and then she was so cute. She was like, I don't know, who's yours?
Aww.
And I remember, I immediately go, Niall. I love his hair. And she was like, he has great hair. So she was an amazing sport, but it is crazy that I did meet like one of my idols like very early into my life, and I did not ask her anything about herself. So
well, if you
that's on me.
Had the opportunity to interview her today. Ariana? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and she's here.
And she's here, surprise. No, but if you got to kind of redo that interview today, what are some things that you would like to ask her?
Oh my God. I mean, I would just want to be like, let's have a drink. Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, let us talk, let us gab.
Because now that you're an adult, the conversation would be different. I feel like there's a lot more relatable material to be had.
I mean, God, it's so hard because it's also like, I'm a really big believer in like, we should like, while I love pop and I love following pop stans, I also really do believe that like we are not entitled to like the private lives of any public figure. And obviously all my questions are like, so what's your next album gonna be? Like, what is the title? What is it about? But I also want to know like, gosh, like I would just love to like hear her stories. Cause you know, especially like anyone I think working in pop, they have stories. Oh, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, they have lived so many lives. I mean, the fact that Ariana Grande was at an event with like 12-year-old Ruby Karp promoting One Direction and Sharpie, it's like that woman has lived a life.
Yes.
And I would just like love to hear about it, honestly. Yeah. God, I mean, I also am a theater kid. So like she's doing Wicked. Like it's just
there's a lot there.
There's so much. I would just be like, God, like you are awesome.
Yeah.
So,
well, speaking of theater and Wicked, you also love Broadway, but you kind of scaled back from that because you said that the singing aspect of it.
Yeah.
I have an idea though.
What's your idea?
So when you were a teen, you wrote a book called Earth Hates Me.
Once again, lived many a life.
Many lives. How would you feel about doing an adaptation of that for Broadway?
Oh my God. You should be my manager.
We're making things happen right now.
You have some great ideas.
Yeah, how does 10% sound?
You know, I will say, writing a book at 16 is a really great social experiment for the rest of your life because I do go back and forth between being like, that's pretty cool I did that, to being like, curse everyone who let me do that and let me put my little brain out in the world. Well, it's just like, imagine your 16-year-old conscious being in the world and accessible for anyone to just like touch.
Right,
it's
that's
like,
fair.
I say this in my show. Yes. I'm like, no, it was not a bad book, but it was written by a 16-year-old. And that is something that no matter how good of a writer you are still 16.
Right.
In the Broadway thing.
Yes.
Who would say no to Broadway?
Right.
You know what I mean? And what I was going to say is my one-woman show is all about why I like don't think I can do Broadway.
Oh dear. Okay.
So
we're gonna change that.
Well, but it's like why I think I can't do Broadway, but it's like yes I can. That's like the message.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm like, I think it would actually make a great Broadway show. If anything, my one-woman show should go to Broadway.
We can do multiple shows there.
You know what I'm saying?
There are no limits.
There's no limits in this imaginary scenario. Like
no, but manifest. It's not going to be imaginary.
In this world that we're discussing right here,
yes.
I have 3 different bodies and they're all on Broadway at the same time.
I think this is incredible.
I'm cloning myself the way Barbara Streisand clones her dogs.
Liz, is that a thing?
Oh my God, you didn't know that? She clones her dogs. But they're different like personalities, but they're like the same genetically.
Wow. And does she just do it to see which iteration she's going to love the most? Or,
you know, that's a really good question.
Like, what am I going to get next?
I think she just really loves the breeds.
What are they?
They're like some tiny dog. I think they're like, they have like curly, I think they have poodles. I don't know.
Like like a mini poodle or something?
Yeah, I don't know the exact name, but it's some like,
isn't there like a toy poodle? Is it maybe that?
It's kind of exactly what you would expect it to be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm going to do so that I can be in 4 Broadway shows at once.
Well, with the way that technology is going right now.
Who's to say?
Yeah, this could be on the horizon. Speaking of, all of these lives that you led, when you were 10, you got your first writing job with Hello Giggles for Ruby's Corner. If we were to reboot that but make it Ruby's Corner Store, what kind of
fun.
What kind of snacks and foods as a 10-year-old Ruby or nostalgic items would this store sell?
Oh my God. So here's the thing. My diet has not changed my whole life.
Fabulous.
And thankfully, like, I've always kind of been, like, not the most picky, I say, as I'm, like, picking apart my food.
You're just being meticulous so you don't choke on it.
My mom had a rule when I was a kid with food.
Okay.
if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it, but you have to try it.
That's
so
fair.
like I would always have to take like a bite of things.
Okay.
And then if I didn't like it, I didn't have to eat it. But that's how I like discovered a lot of food. My sweet tooth is a different beast.
I'm into it.
I have always had a major sweet tooth as a kid, especially because I actually did have a corner store across the street from my middle school where we were able to go out to lunch. So every day for lunch, I would like go to the corner store. I would get like 4 packs of Gushers. I'm also just like, oh my God, America, like please, please. I would get like 3 packs of Gushers. I would get like a Nerds Rope. I would get fruit roll up. Like I loved all of the like artificial flavoring, like
They're delicious.
The classic stuff. I'm a big fan of like the Snickers almond bar. Have you had that? So it's
I don't think I have.
Okay, so it's a Snickers. It comes in this like white, creamy white packaging.
Okay.
And instead of having like peanuts in the Snickers, it's almonds. And it actually,
delightful.
It's lovely. But then I found out recently I can't have chocolate.
What?
Because they have caffeine in chocolate. Something I did not know.
All right, so here is spoily. So there's really not as much as
my doctor wants me to think.
Yeah, and again, we don't listen to doctors.
We don't listen to
Ruby?
doctors.
No, they don't know much.
Why?
But also listen to your doctor.
But also, we are joking. Please listen to your doctors.
Yes, this is not.
We are not those people.
Yes. Can you not have caffeine?
So, okay.
Or are you not supposed to?
I don't know if this is like TMI, but I did
whatever you're willing to share.
I did just get an endoscopy.
Congratulations.
And because I, at the age of 23 years old, have acid reflux, even though I'm literally like a child.
Yes.
So they were like, okay, here are all the things you like can't eat, and it's 3 things, and it's the 3 things I eat the most. It's caffeine, chocolate, and one other thing. Can you tell I'm not listening to
Is it tomatoes?
The instructions I'm being given?
Citrus?
Yeah, like spicy foods.
Oh,
anything,
spicy.
Which is like, what? Like, why? So but it's also like, yeah, no, we know why.
Right.
So I'm dealing with that. That's been really difficult for me.
That is difficult.
I think I blacked out when he told me the 3rd thing I'm not allowed to eat, because
is it written somewhere?
It is written somewhere.
Wonderful.
But all I can remember is like he told me no caffeine and no chocolate, and after he said that, I was just like, what is my life gonna look like now? And so I've been really tired every day because I'm just like, I haven't had coffee in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So sharing my trauma with you all.
That's intense.
It's fine.
So, but we could still have, all of these. I believe in you.
Are you guys like watching me try and like open my mouth big enough for this?
I believe in you.
Okay, thank you.
You can do it.
Carry on with your sentence.
No, I kind of want to make sure it happens and make you as uncomfortable as possible by staring and watching you do it. You did it, Ruby. I believe in you. No.
Gross.
No, you're feeding yourself.
Welcome.
I mean, listen, you haven't been able to have caffeine. You should have the small pleasures in life.
Have at least a hollow toast.
Absolutely.
DIY.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so your store would encompass all of these things, even the chocolate that you unfortunately cannot have anymore. I'm into it. Were there any like little nostalgic kind of like toys or games or things like that would...
Oh, I was a toy girl.
Oh, okay.
I was obsessed with toys. But all the toys I was obsessed with were super expensive.
Ah, like what?
Okay, American Girl dolls. I don't know how much money they are now. As a kid, American Girl dolls were like the thing amongst me and my friends. But American Girl dolls at the time were like $100 per doll.
That's a lot.
And then on top of that, the toy I was like obsessed with were, I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but calico critters.
Ooh, okay. I don't know about these, but I want to know about these.
Yes, you do. Wait, can I show you a photo?
You can show me a photo.
Because these are famous. You will definitely know what they are. Wait.
Okay, we are a different age, Ruby, but I will still...
Wait, no, these span across generations. I swear.
Okay.
I swear to God.
Okay. I don't know these.
No, calico critter. Oh my God, wait.
But now I do.
And
I'm better for it.
My store would have all of the calico critters.
Yes.
And it would also have all of the American Girl dolls. And it would probably have some silly bands. I was a silly band girl.
Wow, remember silly bands.
Why not? You know what I mean?
This is a store of nostalgia.
And then it would probably have like the app Vine, just like bringing it back.
R.I.P. Vine.
Yeah. I was trying to think of all like my quintessential middle school traits.
Were you on Vine?
Oh yeah. I mean, I wasn't like posting like, I wasn't like an influencer, but I was like, I think Vine and Gen Z are very like intertwined, or like that era of Gen Z, because like Vine was my humor. Like that was the joke. The joke was Vine.
Well, and to be able to execute something in 5 seconds, like there's that pressure, but you also have to be really good.
Yeah.
You host a weekly show called We Hope You Have Fun. And you've been doing that for over a decade now. Yeah. What is the most fun dining experience you've ever had?
Ooh, like at my show?
Oh, is there food at the show?
Yeah, there's food at the show.
Oh.
Yeah, well, not like on stage, but the stand is like they sell food. Like they sell like oysters and shit. Like,
oh my.
Yeah, like no, it's like they go hard. Like I will be like there'll be a comic on stage telling like dick jokes, and then like someone in front of them is like eating calamari, and it's just like, okay.
Well, I have a question. Do you know CPR or the Heimlich?
Legit, no. I'm kind of like, this is crazy, but it's like the food's amazing, but it is like, damn, but people are like, we're dining.
Well, that, and like if jokes are funny, hopefully they are. People are chewing, swallowing, laughing,
choking other food.
And like I'm assuming, thank God, that's never happened.
I don't think it's ever happened. No, I know, legit, knock on wood. For me, fun really is like a trip to Pizza Pete's with my boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, that's fun to me.
Well, I don't want to glaze over the fact that you have this show that you host.
Yeah.
That was just the tie-in to find what your favorite fun meal was.
Yeah.
But you've been hosting for over a decade, and your mom used to help produce it because obviously a child.
Right.
But now you're an adult, and so you do this.
Yeah.
And it's impressive at any age, but I strongly feel like there are a lot of people who do not have any idea of what producing a weekly comedy show involves with all new comics every time. What is that process like?
Guys.
Because also, I will interject and just say, you also have a full-time job. You also have other projects that you're working on. So this is not just the one thing that you do.
Right.
So doing it on top of all of that makes it even more challenging.
Yeah. I was producing the show while I was in college in Boston. So I would take the Amtrak in like every weekend to New York, or like not the Amtrak, I would take like the bus into the city like every weekend just to like host these shows that I was producing. I will say, I think I encourage comedians to produce their own shows because it allows you to be in communication with fellow comedians, and especially if like you're just starting out. And even though I'm not just starting out and I've been doing it for like a million years, there are new people entering the scene constantly. There are people blowing up constantly who I'm like, I have never seen you before, but apparently you've been here forever. So it's like, producing allows you to be constantly talking to and working with other comedians. And I think, you know, I don't think in comedy you have to be like, these are my best friends and this is my community. But I think it does really help you create a community for yourself and find people and figure out like who you want to surround yourself with in your own industry. Thankfully, the show is every other week. If it were weekly, I actually don't know what I would do, because seriously, like every other week is already impossible, because also it's just like there's only so many comedians in the city. Part of a producer's job is to sell tickets, which it entails getting people with like larger followings on a lineup. And there's only so many people with large followings in New York City. I mean, like, and I know that sounds crazy, you're like, but it's New York. When you do it for this long, there really is only so many.
Right.
People.
And people need to get, well, what about, are there any like up and coming, now that like TikTok opens up a whole new world of audiences, are there any little kids a la Ruby Karp that might be amazing?
Wait, okay, so there's this Instagram account I found. They might have a TikTok too.
Okay.
And it's a page, I think they might just be like a class of kids like doing stand-up, but it's a page that only posts children doing stand-up.
Wow.
And they're all at this like one club doing it in this one room, which is why I'm like, oh, this might be like a class or something. Like why are there so many children of the same age range doing stand-up in this one location?
Right.
But the comment, and this is like something I talk about a lot in my one-woman show, the comments are so mean.
Oh no.
On these children's videos, because they like post reels and stuff and they like blow up because it's a child doing stand-up.
Sure.
And people in the comments are just like, not funny, so embarrassing, like all this stuff. And I'm like, he's like 7. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how are you as a grown adult being like cringe to a literal like kindergartner?
This is sad.
It's so sad. So one of my like goals or like messages in my show is like, adults need to like watch how they speak to like professional children, because it's like, just because a child is putting themselves out there in a professional way doesn't mean that they're not still a child.
Yes.
And I think that's like what sucks about social media, is that like people just don't care. They're just like, yeah, we're all here, so we can talk to each other the same. And it's like, no, there are like power dynamics still at hand, even on like Instagram.
Well, speaking of social media, you do create a lot of hilarious video content, and you did a couple of videos where you dramatically read Kardashian tweets.
Yes.
Also, can we still call them tweets? Is there a name for them now?
I call them tweets because I'm just like, I don't know what you want from me. Like, I'm like,
thank you.
What?
Okay.
You want me to call these X's? Like,
no. Tweets they shall remain.
Tweets they shall remain.
Yeah.
Twitter shall be forever.
Yes.
I love my Kardashian tweet series. I think it's funny.
Now, what's the wildest one that you can remember doing, or one that maybe didn't make the cut in a video? Because these are real. They're from them.
No, like I dig for these.
Yeah.
Some of them are really crazy. I mean, like, I love them just because they also were so active on Twitter in a time where like people were using Twitter like they were using like 2008 Facebook, where it's like they were like status updates. Like, Kim has a like running series on her Twitter from like 10 years ago where she's just constantly like, I can smell cavities. Like, there's someone with a cavity in this car, I can smell it. And it's just like, what? Like, what are you, like, she was obsessed. She thought she was a cavity psychic.
Well, you work at Betches.
I do.
I really want to know, what is the pantry there like?
The pantry is stacked. It's awesome because I like need to have snacks to like have energy.
All right. And now that we can't have caffeine.
No, now that I can't have caffeine. So their pantry, it has like popcorn and granola bars, and it has like Oreos. It has like truly like anything you would need, they have.
Very good.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I know we kind of talked about like the fact that you can't have chocolate that much now, but you did do a video.
I had the
but you
Snickers
still
bar
do
like
it?
last night.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, great. So this is very on brand then. So you did a video for Kit Kat, Break Better. Do you have a favorite Kit Kat variety?
That is a great question. Have you ever seen the video of Kourtney Kardashian talking about how she eats a Kit Kat?
I can imagine what it would be like, but I can't say that I've seen it.
So this is actually the one time where I was like, wait, I feel seen by the Kardashians. The way Kourtney eats a Kit Kat is the same way I do it. I think all food should be fun. You eat a Kit Kat by kind of like eating it in little nibbles around, so that you're kind of breaking it apart, so that like
the layers of like the chocolate and the wafer.
It eventually, it's like you have like layers of wafer in your hand and you're like eating them. It is very, look up this video, I swear to God, it's like you eat the end and you eat the other end and then you eat the top and then you eat the bottom and you eat the sides and then you like go in on the wafers. I love getting crafty with it. Yeah. And then seeing that Kourtney Kardashian did the same thing, I was like, wait, I feel way more validated in my crazy.
So the Kardashians do kind of play a part in
my life,
your everyday life.
No, I'm actually thinking about the Kardashians way more than I should be. Or way more than like I care to think about them.
I think they do that intentionally.
Yeah, I think that's actually their plan. Yeah,
it's part of the Kris Jenner way.
Master.
She has done it. Maybe you should ask her to be your manager instead.
I swear to God, if Kris Jenner were my manager, I would be.
Here's your plug.
Please, Kris.
I don't think she's going to watch this, but if she does.
If you need another client, I am here.
Ruby's here for you, Kris. Wink. You have said that you are scared of the dark. Is that still a fear?
Huge fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they have these pop-up dining events that happen where you dine in the dark. Is that something you would ever do?
Why would you do that? Well, okay, beyond my fear of the dark, maybe most people just have like better hand-eye coordination than I do, but I'm like, I would like miss my face and I would like drop my food on my clothes. Like, why are we eating? I'm also like, I'm sorry, if you need to like go somewhere to eat in like the dark, just like turn off the lights in your house and like have a meal.
Well, your name Ruby.
Yeah.
Beautiful, like a gemstone.
Yes.
But like, I like making things about food. So Ruby Red, what's your favorite, or what is the best Ruby Red food or beverage?
That's a crazy question because I feel like not that much is like red, you know? Like I'm trying to think like Hawaiian Punch. Have you ever had that?
I have.
That's red.
Red.
That used to be my obsession as a kid.
Really?
I loved Hawaiian Punch.
Oh.
Or maybe like ketchup, low key.
Oh,
Ketchup is a big presence in my life. Like,
is it?
I really use it with a lot of like. We're close.
Yeah. What's the number one thing to pair with ketchup?
I mean, for me, it's like if
Everything?
If I get fries or a burger and there's no ketchup, like I can't really eat it. Like it's not, it ruins the experience not having ketchup there. I had expired ketchup in my fridge and I had like ordered, I hate myself, but I had ordered a like burger and they didn't give me ketchup and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like I was like, I don't know, like this is literally like, did I just waste money?
You felt helpless.
Yeah, I felt helpless and then I was just like, okay, well I can't just waste money, so I just ate it.
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever had expired ketchup. What is that experience like?
That is such a good question.
Okay.
It tastes sour, and that to me was the first sign of like,
Something's
that's actually
not right.
the opposite of what this is supposed to taste like.
That's
so,
true. Oh,
that
dear.
was terrifying to like experience and be a part of, but you live and you learn.
Yeah, so now you just need to be like Beyonce, but carry ketchup in your bag wherever you go.
Yeah, she does that.
Hot sauce.
Wait, are you serious? Because Beyonce is also a Virgo. We have like really similar birthdays, and I'm kind of just like, that's cool. She gets it.
She gets it. Yeah, she has that whole song.
Yeah.
I've got hot sauce in my bag swag. Yeah. So now the Ruby Karp song is I've got ketchup in my bag swag.
Yeah. Great song.
Yeah.
That's the new version. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a Ruby original, play at all your shows.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
We're making things happen.
My new manager, everyone.
Yes, you heard it here first. Ruby, this has been an absolute delight. I am so impressed by everything that you've done. I'm
so impressed by your research. You were pulling things out that I'm like, oh damn, I should get that privated. Like that's
all right. Well,
crazy.
Spread the word. I do my homework. I'm also so excited for everything that you have coming up in the future, and I cannot wait to stay tuned.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.